today we have another opportunity to once again show true leadership and address the public safety crisis in our city. This council, in just a few short months, has taken great strides in working to shut down and combat crime in our community, from addressing officer shortages to curbing illegal street racing in our communities, the like. I too want to thank our colleague, Chair Kettle, for his leadership on these issues, and particularly the issue that's before us today, right now. While we're talking about detention today, I want to be very clear. We need a thoughtful, balanced, holistic approach to public safety that recognizes the importance of diversion, treatment, and yes, enforcement and detention in some cases. Seattle has recognized this need for a multifaceted approach for a long time, and will continue to do that. We've developed new treatment and diversion services and have invested in cool innovations like LEAD and care teams that directly help individuals in our community suffering from debilitating addiction or mental health challenges. Fact remains that when an individual engages in certain criminal and lawlessness behavior, sometimes we need a place to hold folks while they await trial in order to keep our community safe. So we need to move beyond these ideological policy decisions, ultimately rooted in purity tests and based in false choice. Rehabilitate or incarcerate. Services or detention. A public health approach or a carceral-only approach. This vote today allows us to affirmatively check all of the above. As one public commenter last week during our public safety committee hearing where we heard this said, I quote, "We need a balanced approach that gives police the authority, power, and capacity to act," end quote. Colleagues, this is just another arrow in the quiver for us. Today, we know, however, that our detention tool is lacking. We simply lack the necessary detention capacity under our current arrangement to address the scope of the challenges facing the broader city. Personally, I'm not interested in playing the blame game, he said, she said, pointing fingers on how or why we got here. I assume good faith on the part of our governing partners at King County. I know that we need some capacity, and people are counting on us to take action. So I strongly believe that the SCORE agreement is a good overall deal for the city. We learned through this process that there is strong historical precedent for this. This was somewhat common occurrence before COVID. Great to learn, as Chair Kettle aptly pointed out earlier in his comments, one of them that before it was interrupted, but SCORE is an accredited and a compliant facility. It's compliant with the American Correctional Association standards. It's accredited by both the National Commission on Correctional Healthcare, and the Washington State Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs. Some really important, unique features associated with this facility. There's 2 embedded competency evaluation experts directly on site. And as amended by the great amendments, so thank you, Councilmember Strauss and more for your thoughtful amendments, we now have a guaranteed number of beds and enhanced accountability and reporting mechanisms built in to make sure that we're able to meaningfully address and deliver upon these commitments. So I appreciate everyone who has participated and testified and engaged on this topic. This is really hard work, and these problems are complex and highly nuanced. There are a few unknowns, and that's the same fact pattern is true for principally all policy decisions. And I know and I'm confident that this council will continue to provide oversight to ensure that this agreement is properly executed. But today, colleagues, the agreement before us today will allow us collectively as a city to move towards a fully functioning justice system that has been sorely lacking in recent years. That's why I'm going to be supporting it, and I urge everyone else to support it as well. Thank you, Madam Council President.